quite actively involved in keeping the fires going. In other words, I better have enough wood there to keep all those boilers boiling.
That's how you treat them?
Yeah, that was during the World War.
My granddad would just kill one a year or so.
Yeah, we'll go anytime we want to. Smile, Bob.
Are we on the internet?
Yeah.
Hey, folks. Welcome to the Wednesday night edition of Hug TV, coming to you from LaFollette, Tennessee, high above the banks of Big Creek. And tonight we're going to have some special treats for you, some people that we hope you will enjoy meeting.
When's Digger coming? When's Digger coming?
And Digger, including Digger now. He said he was coming. I didn't have any confirmation of that. So, I told him he was welcome, you know. And we hope we have a good show for you.
Hug TV.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hey.
How you doing, my friend?
Pretty good. You're a little early.
Yeah. I can't hardly hear you on my computer.
No, can you hear me now? I believe it's your computer, because my sound is showing okay.
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me better since I put my glasses on?
I barely hear Bob.
Well, you ain't missing us no way. I don't know what to do, because I'm showing good volume here. I don't have any way to do any more.
Are you not getting volume on TV or on the internet?
Okay, that sounds better.
Okay.
That sounds real good.
Well, good. We got it made now.
So
Just enjoy it.
Right.
I'll call you back after a while.
Right.
Okay.
Just relax and enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I'll call you after a while.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Our sound check.
What?
Our sound check.
Right. Okay. All
I
right.
just turned it
Now,
on.
where were we? We were high above the banks of Big Creek here in
High
LaFollette,
above the
Tennessee.
banks
was
of the
where we
Gitche
were.
Gumee, where the rippling waters flow.
Right. That's us, and we're getting ready to go on.
This is Hiawatha.
We're getting ready to go.
Mr. Watha gets high right off.
We're on Channel 12 here. Right now, we're watching some man that was crazy enough to build a propane store right in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
A highly volatile situation.
Yeah.
And now he's bragging about it on television.
Yep. Hey, Roger?
Hey, Roger
We
again.
still
Hey.
got Roger on. I just turned him off.
Okay.
I guess that's why he's hearing me.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask, is there anything new that wants to come? Well, hey, folks, we want to welcome you to Channel 12. We've already welcomed everybody on the internet. And, you know, we got, this is a dynamic duo presentation.
Not to be confused with Batman and Robin.
Right, yeah. And
They come on Thursday night.
who, Batman, Robin? Yeah. Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, we want to welcome you to Channel 12 here tonight, and we've got some special guests, which may even include Digger Wilson. I don't know if Digger's going to make it or not, you know.
I thought that was him steaming in there now, but I guess it wasn't.
Okay.
Well, the reason Digger's coming is he's going to tell us about the shrine circus, so we can kind of warm him up a little on that if you know when he does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that may possibly be him. And,
Cheat sheet.
we
tell
usually, we're on our good behavior tonight since we have a guest. We usually would have by this time already insulted over a half dozen people.
Don't they have any, reckon they don't have any good looking music officials of the feminine persuasion?
Yeah, right.
Send us an old ugly guy.
Yeah, right.
Dixie Concrete, all your concrete needs. We highly recommend them.
Right. Some running up and down the highway today with all sorts of trucks. They were bringing stuff in, bringing gravel in, bringing sand in, bringing more of that stuff that they mix with it.
Mm.
And then I saw them hauling it back out in the concrete truck. So they got
Now,
a
I tell
right good
you-
little operation going.
I tell you how good their concrete is. They had almost when they were having the parade last week, and all the traffic was screwed up for an hour and a half.
Right, yeah.
The concrete truck come down through there, and then all at once this car stopped right in front of him, and the only thing he could do was just kind of go over on the curb and stop, and it sloshed some of his concrete out there in the driveway.
I saw that.
So he got out there and smoothed it down, and hosed it off, and watered it down, and watered it down, and watered it down, and you couldn't drive a pickaxe in it with a sledgehammer right now. And that was
in fact, I asked you what happened about that. You know, well, maybe we'll get him to do it again.
If he hadn't watered it down, well, it'd been just like the pyramids. It'd been there for the next 3,000 years.
Right. That's
If you need any concrete, go see it.
Right. And if they had put the Sphinx's nose back on with Dixie concrete,
Napoleon wouldn't have had a chance.
I'll start with it than Dixie concrete.
Well, Napoleon started his every day with a biscuit.
Right.
He was on the Isle of Elba, or is it Melba? Which is the toast? One's toast and one's island. Anyway, he'd go down Rainbow and get him one.
He didn't have a Rainbow restaurant.
No, his daddy would have died from arsenic poisoning, but
no bigger than Napoleon was. He could have kept one hid inside his.
He had one in his jacket.
Was
Don't
that
you remember?
what
Yeah,
it
he was
was?
hiding the bologna
He had a
biscuits.
biscuit in there.
Those
Now
bologna
we know
biscuits.
Now we know why he had his hand in his coat. He had a biscuit, but it wasn't a Rainbow restaurant biscuit.
You ever seen them buttons on a coat? There's 3 or 4 of them on a coat.
Yeah.
You know where they come from?
What?
Napoleon.
Really?
His troops, he had a problem with his troops. Kept soiling their coat sleeves. He sewed buttons on there, had them sew buttons on their sleeves, so they couldn't do that. And then as it become it become less functional, more of a fashion. They moved them around.
Unless you were into pain, you didn't rub your nose.
Yep. But anyway, Rainbow Restaurant's got good biscuits. Them are bologna biscuits for 99 cents, and them are $2.99 breakfast specials.
Right.
Start your day off right.
I guess has ever tried one of Rainbow Restaurant's bologna biscuits.
I never tried one.
You will have to try that.
We highly recommend it. It's right down there above the speed hump dip on the 4 lane.
You don't come to La Follette without trying a Rainbow Restaurant bologna biscuit. We're going to have to put a sign up on that Walker Trail, bologna biscuits this way.
Well, I haven't thought about that. What are they going to do with that couch they're going to carry around? They're going to have to carry it down there to the biscuit store?
Probably.
We could put in some lockers so they could check the couch in while they went down there and got them a biscuit. We
could do that.
We can make money on lockers. TV.
Well, I recommend the Rainbow Restaurant. I go there often.
We do too.
And they have good everything.
I didn't get a hug when you left a while ago.
Why, Ronnie wouldn't tell me that she was going in.
You couldn't tell from the back?
Why?
You didn't see the right
His face goes all the way back.
Well, that's the truth, honey.
Yeah. So what's going on, Shirley?
Huh?
What's going on?
Well, well, first of all, I'm going to say I shouldn't tell this, though, but I'll be 62 next month.
Well, I'll be 62 next month, too. In fact, I'm 62 this month. I'm already 62. Yeah, good looking.
Oh,
both of us.
Right. But anyway, a lot of
Shirley, I
times,
graduated from high school before you were born. Shirley, I graduated from high school before you were born.
Now, wait a minute. Okay, Shirley, what?
Well, I have a daughter that, has autism, and when she settles down, it's usually of a night that I could have to go to Rainbow Restaurant even before daylight.
Yeah.
And I go to Wild Part or whatever because I know she'll be okay here, and don't have to worry about, what's going on while I'm gone. So the policeman, the same one, stopped me twice. One night and then the next night, the same 2 nights. And I think he seen seen me go down to the road, down the 4-lane, I call it. And I seen him sitting there as I came back, and here he took out after me again. Now, that was 2 times in a row. And I got out of the car to see what he wanted. And he said, you get back in that car. And he said it was hateful, yeah. And I said, well, why? And he said, I said, you get back in that car. And you don't like that. That don't sound too well with me. He don't know who he's talking to. And so he came around to the other side, and he said that, you know, talking about my tail light, that had to be fixed. And I said, okay, I'll get one ordered for the car. And then he said the 2 different nights in a row, he said that I did not have my headlights on and that I had my brights on. Well, now I've seen a lot of people with their bright lights on and a lot of people with no tail lights. In fact, there was a truck, an old truck behind me when I was coming down the 4-lane. And it was swerving all over the road and didn't have...
Wasn't green, was it?
Wasn't green pickup truck, was it?
Was about like a BB gun, BB shot. And I told him about that. I said, instead of stopping me, why don't you go down there and stop somebody like that? Or either go after the meth heads and drunks instead of picking on me.
You voted wrong, Shirley. You must have voted wrong.
What's that?
You must have voted wrong.
I think I did.
I think I have too.
Be careful about that from now on.
Yeah,
Shirley,
I'm going to quit voting.
Shirley, you may remember this, but I went home one night from the show here, and my little truck some way had developed a difficulty there in the tail light. So when you turn your lights on, the backup lights come on. They were pretty bright, you know. So I was going down the 4-lane there, and he pulled me over. And I said, yeah, I got out, and, you know, asked me what the problem was. He said, well, your backup lights is blinding everybody behind you. I said, well, hell, wasn't nobody behind me but you.
Yeah, there you go. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call some of my good friends out there when I leave the house and make sure that my light is on, and they'll never know who's following me. And I'm going to have them to be on the watch out for the cops. And when they say I don't have no lights on, then I'll have a witness.
Maybe you ought to just change schedule and go when there's a different fella on shift.
Then you'd have to break him in.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
But I told him, I said, if you keep pulling me over, I said, I am going to the chief of police, and I do, when I have to do that, I do expect him to do something.
Right.
I'm not afraid of him. I'm not going to get no fight with him. I don't.
Shirley, you have to realize now you're having this little difficulty just running right around here close.
Right.
But do you realize when you leave the interstate down here on exit 104,
134, you never get here at 104.
Yeah, 134. In order to get to where I am right now, you have to go through 7 layers of law enforcement to get up here.
Right.
That's why we feel so safe.
Right. That's the reason I'm not worried about anything happening.
Fort Knox, they're thinking about moving the gold down here.
I know that. They're going to put it in the
So
yard.
they get some.
You know, that the other afternoon I had 9 aluminum rims there in front of my door at my place of business. 2 individuals who were witnessed and identified, and the names given to the police, pulled up and loaded my 9 rims up on their truck and left with them. We have given the information to the police and the name of the 2 individuals involved and the description of the truck, and the witness saw them load my tires up and haul them off. I'm still waiting to receive a call.
Good luck on that.
Yeah, I know.
Now,
You've been through that too,
I
haven't you?
got to say, somebody said, was you scared? Because I've never
Well, you might as well start getting used to it. I predict it's going to become a lot more frequent.
Well, he said, what are you getting out for? I said, to see what you want. I said, you don't know what's in that mirror and see them lots of flashes, boy, that really upset me. And somebody said, was you scared? I said, not one bit, I was mad. Because he pulled me over right back for no reason. And he's going to have to stop that because
well, you know, that's not the
I'm
only,
going to get to somebody to,
that's not the only department that you maybe have to look at. The other morning I was out like about 6:30 and I heard the siren and I could tell that it was a fire truck. You know, you can take it. And here he come up thundering up across the Wild Bob Ronnie Bridge. And right when he got to the place that sells the crushed ice across the street, he cut his siren off and picked the guy up, gave him a ride uptown.
Really?
Yeah, and he just had the siren on so he'd know that he was coming.
Ain't that great?
Yeah, my dad.
Woke people up all over town.
Yeah.
My dad used to say, there goes Tom. I said, something bad must happen. He said, yeah, the Tom's going for a coffee break. You know? And that probably was true.
Well, good luck.
If a policeman's got just cause to pull me over,
Well, what this
then that's okay.
what this reminds me of now, back when I was a young man, during the late 40s and the rise of the Soviet Union,
Fall of the Roman Empire.
we were very concerned that those people over in Russia, if they were going to travel from one part of the city to another, or from one part of Russia to another part of Russia, they had to have all their I's dotted and all their T's crossed and all their credentials and all their papers and everything had to be in order to go from one section of Russia to the other. Well, it's getting just about that bad here in Campbell County and Tennessee and the United States. If you want to come in from exit 134 into La Folle, the first night I came up here, I had 2 vehicles, 2 trucks, and 2 trailers, a trailer behind each one, bringing stuff up here. And I got stopped coming into town.
It didn't work.
They knew I was not a native, you know. But I believe if you'll check, we have more law enforcement officers in Campbell County per population than anywhere else in the United States.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's the reason we can feel so safe and I can not worry about my tires getting stolen.
Yep.
Well, now I've talked about this, a lot of different business people. You know, I've not touched this word loud at all. Since I've never had a ticket except one time. And that's when I was dating my husband, and he must have fell so much in love that he forgot to renew his license, and instead of giving him a ticket, they gave me one.
Well, why would they give you one?
26 years ago.
Why would they give you one?
I don't know. That don't make a bit of sense. But because I was driving, they gave me the ticket. Now, that was in Illinois. And that's the only ticket I ever had.
I didn't know you had to have a passenger. Passenger had to have a license, did you?
Why, no, I didn't either. That was awful.
They must have,
Passenger license.
yeah, that's what it was. Buses. I bet that's the reason so many busing companies went out of business. Because finding enough licensed passengers.
I've never been rode up with a fine or anything. And when somebody stops you when you got a good record like I have, then you better believe that makes you mad and very angry. It does me. Someone said, was you scared? I said, no, I wasn't scared. I got out
Shirley.
trying to ask him what he wanted, and he said, you get back in that car. I said, well, why? He
Shirley.
said, you get in. He just want to show his upper authority, you know.
Shirley.
But, I'm not a bit scared of him because I'm going to have somebody watching when I leave this house, and then that'll be my witness where I'm a swerving or where I'm having
Shirley.
lights on. Then
Shirley.
he won't
going to tell us about all the wonders of Louis Bluey here in a minute. As soon as we tell you about, well, let's do Digger. You want to Digger down there in the middle of the road? 562-5444, and you better get you some propane. Cause oh, and by the way, if you remember 3 months ago when I told you it was going to frost, I told you. Well, it frosted. Digger.
Sorry, he had some inside information.
Katie did. Durman.
Yeah.
Mr. Durman, come on over. State your
Come on
case
over,
here.
you want to do this, Ronnie?
No, we'll put him right there in the middle.
Pull him up on
This
the
looks like the danger spot right here
Right.
between you two.
Yeah, you don't want to be out on the when we leave either.
Tell us more about
that's when it
yourself
hurts.
and about the Louis Bluey Festival, which we're
And it's
delighted to have coming up this weekend.
It's coming up this weekend. It's well, I'm Chris Durman. I'm one of the people that's been planning it, trying to put it on here. I've been doing a whole bunch of working on the different stages. Well, I've actually worked on one stage. I've worked on the Louis Bluey stage and getting people programmed in. We got the festival is, well, I should say about myself. Tell me to do that first, didn't you?
Yeah, we want to know what business have you got in this business here?
Well, I guess I got an interest in it. I don't have too many ties with Campbell County, other than I'm pretty much a lifelong East Tennessean, but I'm from down in the valley a little bit farther there. I'm from Jefferson and Hamlin is where I'm from.
Country.
That's exactly right. We got one of the taverns there, David Crockett Tavern up there in Morristown.
Right.
Where Sevier and Blount originated from.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm from up that way, and I'm real interested in the music of East Tennessee, and that's what got me into the Louis Bluey Festival. My day job is a librarian. I work at UT and one of the librarians up there.
Right.
So that I'm actually a music librarian. As you pointed
Well,
out, there are not too many of us there.
UT has just made another claim to fame, as you well know.
Well, which one is that?
And that's the one on the butt chugging.
High Kappa Alpha. Yeah, they
when they
found a
play-
new
when
way,
they
a new
play,
delivery system.
Georgia this weekend, they'll be known as the volunteer butt chuggers.
Well, you know, the people that are right there in it were always the last to know.
Right. But you know, the thing about it is, the bad thing about it, is people like that can breathe.
Yeah, and vote. They get to vote.
And that even worse, they can vote.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we got what we got in there now.
And that starts at the bottom and goes up. Let's get off politics and get on music.
You know, my daughter's one of them tree huggers from over at UT.
Is she?
Yeah.
Who is Louis Bluey? What kind of a name is that anyway?
Well, it's Howard Louis Bluey Armstrong, and there's a big story on how he got to be called Louis Bluey.
Right, because he played
No.
with the old string.
He's a string musician. He played.
Oh, a different kind of bluey. We talking about blues.
Well,
Yeah, he was a multilingual sort of a fellow.
He was multilingual. He grew up in La Follette. His dad worked at one of the mines here, and there's a whole bunch of them, of the kids there. I think Howard. I can't remember where Howard fell. He was one of the older ones. They had a whole string of kids there, and they all seemed to play music. You know, at that time up here, they had a whole lot of different people working in the mines. You know, so they had a lot. I guess it's whatever wave of immigrants hit this area, really. So they had a lot of.
They had a lot of welts down in the coal mines.
And it was in coal mines. His dad worked at a tipple.
Yeah, and this year we had what coal they did here was for coal for the iron that they were able to extract. But they had just the whales moved over and brought all their mining techniques down to the Briceville area.
I knew they had a whole lot of Italians that worked in the mines here too. And that kind of.
You're right. It just depends on what wave of immigration happened to be coming along.
Have you been over to the area where
I've never been. I've never been.
I'd
I'd like to.
Daytime, come by and I'll take that way.
I'd like that. I would very much like that, because I've studied him a bunch and looked at, just been real interested in him, because it sounds different than most music you think of. And in this area, he learned, like I said, he was played in a string band with his brothers, and he learned at a young age that he could get better tips or get better whatever's going around, food, whatever, if he entertained the different groups. So he not only knew, another thing, back up just a tiny bit, is, right now you think people that play bluegrass and that kind of music is, it's mostly white folks. But Howard was a black man. And at that time, earlier era, it was all dance music. A whole lot of that stuff was dance music, and you wouldn't be able to tell too much difference between what the white musicians were playing and what the black musicians were playing. They were playing roughly the same kind of songs, so they're playing for dance.
So how did he get to be Louis Bluey?
I'm coming around to that.
Okay.
I'm coming around to that.
We're just getting impatient here.
Well, I tend to take the long way around here. Well, I think that's later in his career. Back in the 30s, I guess, after learning all that stuff, he went down and recorded in Knoxville. There was a recording, how they called the Big Bang of country music, happened up in Bristol when the record labels went up and recorded there. Mm-hmm. They also did a recording session in Knoxville at the old St. James Hotel.
Mm-hmm. Had the midday merry-go-round.
That's right.
Missed their chance of fame. Nashville.
They sure
jumped
did.
On it, yeah.
Sure did. Howard was in a band called the Tennessee Chocolate Drops by then. And he recorded at the St. James sessions there, and then they just toured around all over the place. He played all over the place in Knoxville. I guess he knew he got to meet Grace Moore. She's up north of us a little bit, where she was hanging around with him, somewhere near Jellicoe. Yep. That he got to go up there and play, and he just played all around. Wherever there was made to be made off gigs, he'd play. Somewhere on the course of that whole thing, back in that time period, he was at story goes, he was at a place, and he had evidently made this woman kind of unhappy or something, and she was a little bit tipsy, and she told one member of the band, well, you're this famous jazz musician. Of course, he wasn't. And you're this famous jazz musician. Of course, the other musician wasn't. Then she came around to Howard, and Howard had made her mad, and she goes, you're an Armstrong. You're not Louis Armstrong. You're just old Louis Bluey. And that's how he got his name, Louis Bluey.
Well, he could have been Louis Armstrong had he not. Yeah.
Well, they only made one Louis Armstrong, I'm afraid. But Howard's pretty talented, and Howard had a big old career. His son, who's coming down here to play, is a fellow named Ralph Armstrong, and Howard moved up like a whole lot of people from this area here and throughout the South. Really moved up to Detroit back in the 30s or late 30s, early 40s, I think. So he could find work.
You have down here at the festival, you've got a number of different stages where things are happening.
We do. We got three stages, main stages, and then we're going to have a little theater stage too. We're going to show they've made two films about Howard. First one is made by a fellow out in, I think he is from California, a fellow named Terry Zwigoff. And that's how I actually found out about Howard. I didn't know about Howard until I just stumbled across that film one day. And wait a second, he's from here. He's from East Tennessee, so I got interested in him. Another one is made about Howard and his second wife, I guess, Barbara Armstrong, and it's called Sweet Old Song. The first one's called Louis Bluey.
She was here last year.
She wasn't here last year, and she was. She's been at every other one. She's had a little bit of poor health lately. Right. She tells us she's definitely coming next year.
Yeah.
Not this year?
Not this year. She's not coming in this year. But we do have his son coming down, Ralph Armstrong.
Now, who else is going to be performing, and why should we care?
Well, I guess.
And how much does it cost?
Well, the good news on that is it's free.
Well, that is good news.
That's
I can
pretty
afford
good
that.
news. Yeah, I can afford that too.
Yeah.
Are you going to run a bus too?
Well, I got a pickup.
Okay.
I've definitely got change I can believe in.
Yeah, you got that's pocket full of change too.
That's change you can believe in.
Quit showing off, Bob.
Huh?
Quit showing off, Bob. Somebody knock you in the head.
He's flashing his money over here. I guess for folks from here, some of them will know some of these folks better than I. There's some people from the community. I think there's some Dave West from down near Ciderville, at Ciderville Music Store. He used to play with Kaz Walker.
Yeah,
He's coming up and playing.
he owns the Kaz Walker name.
Does he own it?
Kaz gave him all his whatever materials. I mean, he owns Kaz Walker's image and anything Blue Band Coffee and all that stuff.
I don't know. I thought that balm. I can't think of what that balm that Kaz always sold was. I know that he has that at Ciderville Music Store. I can't come up with the name of it.
I know they get some morning paper when it hits the street. Then you got that Blue Band Coffee. Yeah. What was that?
I can't come up with the balm.
I'll come up with it sooner or later.
There's going to be some fiddlers. They're going to celebrate the old La Follette had a fiddling convention a long time ago.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They recreate a little bit of that every year there.
Magiderm?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yep. Get you some of that Magiderm. He said the feller had a wife and she scratched so much and kept him awake, couldn't sleep with her. Got a little of that Magiderm, now anybody can sleep with her. That's right. Ain't that right, Miss Mo?
So you'll have vendors and
oh yeah, there'll be a bunch of food down there. There'll be a bunch of crafts, good food to eat. Yeah, I don't have the whole list of that, but there's usually a bunch of food, and I think there's going to be
crafts.
Plenty of crafts. They usually do a bunch of crafts. They do
Plenty of parking too.
Oh, there's all the parking you need.
And they're wise enough to have got it out at the 4th of July time when it was blazing hot. You couldn't stand it.
Those first 4 years, it seemed like it got hotter every single year, and it wasn't just the music. It was the temperature. It was, I think that last one just about killed me. It was about 105.
I went to two, and then I stopped, and it cooled off. They had about this time last year, too, didn't they?
They did.
I know it was a lot cooler.
We went from the frying pan into the freezer, I'm afraid. That first year, it was a little chilly. But,
so that was what, Saturday, 10 o'clock?
There's a Sounds Like Home concert on Friday night. Now, that one does, I should be clear, that one costs a little bit. And I think
your native son, Larry McNeely, is not going to be here.
Larry McNeely is not able to come. I think he's got some health issues going, too. But Dale Ann Bradley, who's won the International Bluegrass Music Association's award 4 times for Best Female Vocalist, and then Steve Gully, who's going to be there, and then there's a reunion of the Pinnacle Mountain Boys.
They're going to do kind of a tribute thing to Charlie Collins, too,
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Who
was a local boy, went off and made good, passed away this past year, back in the spring.
And he was a member of the Pinnacle Mountain Boys, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was also a member of the Grand Ole Opry for several years.
So but that one costs a little bit, and I'm embarrassed. I think it's either 10 or 15, and I cannot remember which it is right now.
It's on Friday night.
That's Friday night, and then everything Saturday is free.
Except food.
Except food. Yeah,
and
that's right.
And the T-shirts. Yeah.
And the T-shirts. And, Howard always wore a beret. They've made some really fine-looking berets. I've never been much of a beret wearer, but I may turn into a beret wearer. I don't know.
You got to have a beret.
It
worked out good for Monica.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a real good sell.
You can get a cigar. You can get a cigar if you got a beret.
I don't know about that now.
Well, she did kind of sold the image of beret.
Well, you got a point there, don't you? I guess.
But Howard, he wore those masculine berets. So
they're pretty masculine berets.
Yeah,
well, Howard's a pretty big man, pretty masculine looking man. he was of course, not only could he play music, but he was an artist too. He did a whole lot of visual art, and that's why there's a big art component to
you
it
said
too.
theater, they're going to show the two.
They're going to show a lot of the second one, the Sweet Old Song. They'll show some of Bluey Bluey.
Okay, now there was one that was done that was a PBS special, right?
That's Sweet Old Song.
Okay.
Yep, that, and they'll show pretty much all of it.
That was done most recently.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's got some of La Follette in it.
Yeah.
Of course, he came back and the community welcomed him back and gave him a big honor up here.
Named the alley after him.
That's pretty good. I've never seen the alley, but that's a good thing. Yeah. That's a good thing.
Should have named the whole downtown street after him.
Well,
maybe we'll get that corrected. Surely we won't get in too much trouble lobbying for that.
I don't know. You fellas seem like you might have a gift.
We've got to. We do. Apparently we do. This will get you investigated, buddy. You know, the FBI will be knocking on your door before long, and I hope you've not had any tax problems.
I think I've got them all paid up.
Investigators will turn on him.
Yeah.
I'm going to be checking my taillights before I leave. I'll tell you that right now.
You better check your rear view mirror, too.
I think we've got some other local folks. I think Ashley Denise. I think she's played around here a bunch. She plays over in Sevierville.
Who's that?
Ashley Denise is her name. She's fairly young. But she's doing pretty well. New River Boys, Wade Hill and the Hillians. Mm-hmm. Wade Hill's played with everybody in East Tennessee, I think. Real fine banjo player. He's been real active. Who else we got here? Oh, somebody talking.
This is a very informal sort of television
show. I'd kind of noticed that.
Every now and then we make a sale on the air. Somebody found Bob's wheels. What's well, okay. So now that you've visited the Wild Bob and Ronnie show, I don't guess we expect you back here again.
Oh, you just invite me back, I'll be back.
You need to bring that band you were advertising.
I could do that.
We'd like to have a little music here on Wednesday night occasionally.
Well, we could do that. That sounds pretty fun.
We're definitely suffering for a little entertainment around here. Me and Bob about wore out our welcome.
I think you all seem pretty entertaining to me. I was over there giggling quite a bit.
Yeah, well, now that they've seen you, it won't be funny anymore. They'll know who you are.
Well,
tell me about the music library thing. What's that all about? I know this is a little off topic, but can citizens go over and get it?
Of course they can.
Of
course they can. We got a whole lot of things. We'll hook people up. Now both of you are going to take calls on me here. I'm Shanghaiing your show here. It's over in. They're building a new music building, so right now we're kind of situated over in the humanities building at UT. And, we got all kinds of music stuff. We got lots of stuff that that's from this area. A lot of stuff that's they.
Well, I have this message an inquisitive contact here wants to know why in the world you didn't schedule it when Tennessee had an open date.
Well, we got to schedule it way far in advance. We scheduled the whole year out. And
they just scheduled the ball game for all
they scheduled the ball games later than we schedule our thing.
So now that's the problem. UT's just going to have to adjust their schedule. Butt chuggers has done the wrong thing.
Oh, good.
I don't even know where they're playing.
They play at Georgia.
Georgia.
Well, if they played here, we'd go over and set us a little separate concession operation going.
Yeah.
I believe we'll have a pretty good market for selling used tampons.
Yeah, going to soak them in vodka, are you?
No, it's going to dry them out so they'll be very absorbed.
Now look, I ain't into this. Meanwhile, back at the music store. You never know about Bob. He can find a way. I don't care what you're throwing away. He'll find a way to reuse it.
We're gonna recycle.
There's a gift.
Some of the things he washes out, you wouldn't want to know about.
You're not quite a depression baby, I don't think, but you may have a few of the tendencies
you
there.
You never know what you get into on this show.
Are you 77?
Yeah.
I never can keep up with it.
Well, yeah. I guess your parents went right through the heart of it there.
Well, Bob Burr, he's got a little memory of depression because we didn't get lifted out of the depression in the South till, I don't know, maybe 1966 or something. Whenever Caroline Kennedy come down and rescued the poor Appalachians, I guess the Appalachians then. By the way, you ever been to I know you're bound to have the Museum of Appalachia.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the music down there.
They've got great music down there. I've seen some great shows.
I think John Rice is kind of performing now, isn't he?
I've heard his health's not great either.
I don't know how he had a stroke and he was in rehab, and I swear I don't know how it's worked out for him. I hope okay.
I hope okay too.
He's
done a lot of good things.
Yeah, he has. He's preserved stuff that would have gone in the junk pile.
Yeah, he has.
And preserved so much you don't even know what all is there.
I know that used to be one of the biggest national events was that. That they advertised that all over the place, and it was I can't remember the association, but it was like the people that are really interested in Winnebagos and campers and that kind of thing. They were highly.
You know, WDVX did their show out of a camper down there.
I played in that camper.
Yeah.
that was a fun.
You know Don Burgraff?
I don't think I know him.
He was one of the founders.
I may know him by sight.
He was their engineer.
Yeah, I likely do know him. I know from Tony Lawson.
No, he's
a
relative.
Well, that was a great thing. That station has done fabulous things, and of course they moved it down into Knoxville, and it's still doing great things nationally.
I went to London, Kentucky last week, and I couldn't find anything on the radio that my dial knew what it was, and I could still get WDVX. They got a repeater up there somewhere.
Where'd you go to?
That's amazing.
London.
Yeah.
And I could get WDVX up there almost to London. Evidently, there's a repeater on the mountain here somewhere.
Weather's got to be just right for me to get it in Jefferson City, so that's pretty amazing.
Well, they got
you can get it all the way up there.
And one, I don't know where they're getting that came from. I don't believe they run as much broadcast power from their Val Mountain transmitters they used to, but they've got repeaters stuck in there.
I'm not near one, or I wish I was too. I like that. I think they're doing great work. And lines right up with what John Rice Irvin is doing. Brings attention to the music of this area. They did a fine job of it, in my opinion.
You know, they did a national, a network TV show, the second version of Daniel Boone, I believe, from the museum. Used it as part of their film. But the show didn't make it. They only did a few episodes, and they canceled the show. But I never did get to see it. I wasn't where I could. I think I was in school at the time, and I didn't have a lot of television access when I was in school.
I used to go down there for the homecoming a lot. It's been a few years since I've been.
The cannon shoot?
The anvil shoot. I've seen them shoot off the anvil down there. I always think that looks kind of dangerous.
Yeah, there got to be something wrong with a man wants to shoot an anvil.
There's more wrong with the ones that want to sit up close.
Yeah. You don't want to be around them fireworks when they're misbehaving, I tell you.
I think Friday night they're doing pyro shows down here at Louis. They're wrapping things up that evening.
They're an international company.
They are. They sure are. They're based here, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. The head honcho, he was shooting firecrackers in high school. I remember the first time However, he was still in high school, and he put on a fireworks show at the high school one evening, one night. That was impressive to us. I mean, it's nothing like what he's doing now, but you got to start doing Lanston Hill.
I've wondered that.
Yeah, that was his interest. You know, there's a lot of technology in fireworks. I don't know how they do what they do, but to be able to draw a smiley face inside of,
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. High-tech stuff there.
The Chinese know how to do a lot of things.
They do. They do. Obviously, Lanston. Obviously, Lanston does too. See? He does Boomsday, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. I've seen that a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's Fire on the Water on there at Sequoia on 4th of July week. And they shoot. They got around the 4th of July. They got crews all over the world. They did some sort of a thing in Saudi Arabia, and they had a transition of kingships or something. I don't know exactly what, but
they are getting all over the world.
Yeah, they did some sort of a celebration in Saudi Arabia. And they did the fireworks show.
You know, them Obama might try to blame the embassy and.
I bet it's their fault. No, I'm sure it is our fault.
Did Libya on them, you know?
Yeah, it's our fault. You know what I can't figure out is why that by all accounts the powers of politicians should be diminishing, because every politician in office blames his predecessor for all the trouble that they can't get us out of. So evidently each successive one has diminished powers. Well, what's going on? I mean, it's either George's fault or Cliff's fault or something. It's never the one that's in office.
Oh, I know. There's always
Does that mean that it means that the others were so powerful and the ones we've got now can't do anything? Is that what's going on? Right. I mean, if you admit that. Well, we're straight into politics again. I know you won't talk music.
Well, yeah, I can talk music. I'm keeping out of between you two on politics now.
We tend to agree pretty well. You might as well want to get around where we can be shot at.
I'm checking my tail lights and getting out of here before you all. That's what I'm doing.
Throwing your hat in, see if it's okay to come in. Or we throw ours out, see if it's okay to go out. Yeah, we have a good time here. We
paint with
a real broad brush.
Right.
And we intend to do it that way. We paint with that broad brush, then you can draw your own conclusions, you know. We don't play any favorites. We make no friends, that's all enemies. Ronnie runs a store down the 4-lane.
Yeah.
Circle on that was on what you saw it. Okay. I run the
Emporium
surplus operation next to him. I got a little bit of everything in there, from furniture to baby items to hardware to motorcycles.
That seems like a pretty broad brush in itself right there.
So it's called Bob's Salvage and Surplus. You have to drop in something. That's an idea.
I'll take you up if I can get up here during the day sometime, and I'll check in with you and see if take you up on taking me a trip over to where the
moved up here 13 years ago from right down the Piedmont section of North Carolina.
Right.
And my wife was the one that wanted to move up here.
She have family up here?
She never has liked it since she's been up here.
But she won't
Does she have family up here?
With me, it was like going Prairie Rapids and Briar Branch. Bothered me one day.
Well, that's where you got involved in local politics, Bob. Wonder where Digger's at?
Yeah?
Wonder where Digger's at?
Hey.
Digger. Wonder where Digger's
I
at?
don't know. I talked to that boy about this in the morning. Yeah.
Well, you don't know when the Shrine Circus is, do you?
No, I don't.
I'm sure it's not.
I think it's around October the 15th.
Okay, well, I'm
That
sure we'll
sounds
get
right
some more
to me.
information.
The one that's down there in Knoxville?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I want to say it's 12th through the 15th.
Right. Yeah. I believe that.
I think you're pretty close to right there. I was looking at it, and I know it runs from a Thursday to a Sunday, I believe.
Right.
Somebody gave me some tickets to it the other day.
Right.
A lot of free tickets to that, and I guess you can give some donations, and a lot of the food proceeds go to the Shriners.
Well, the ticket sales do too. You just got lucky somebody gave you one.
Maybe the 19th, 20th, and 21st.
You got them connections, what you got.
I'm thinking it's earlier than that, but I could be wrong.
We'll let you know when the Shrine Circus is. Plenty of time to go.
12.
I'm thinking that rings a bell with me anyway.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
If you folks get the feeling, you know, that you might need a ride to the hospital or any other sort of medical transport, I'd like to highly recommend Vital Care, 562-9370.
I can testify personally that they will give you tender loving care all the way from your house, which they did me, all the way to the hospital. That's Vital Care and Medical Transport. Been in business, got over 40 years experience. They know how to do it right, and it don't cost taxpayers anything to operate that ambulance.
In fact, if they don't satisfy their customers, they go out of business. So you can count on them, 562-9370. And I tell you what else I done. I was going to mow my yard today. I partied the weeds and found the lawnmower, and it wouldn't run. Gas line had stopped up. The hose had been
That's
mashed.
not one I sold you, is it?
No. Gas line was mashed up, so I took it off of there and brung it out with me when I come out. I went down there to Napa Auto Parts. They've got lawnmower parts down there too. I got me a new gas line and a filter, and now if I can find my lawnmower again in the morning, I'm gonna mow my yard. Napa down there across from the IGA, 562-9406 or 562-2629. They locally owned, but they're affiliated with a big old place.
You know, I got about 10 weed eaters and Pure War lawnmowers, and every one of them got Napa Auto Parts spark plugs in them.
Well, I didn't change spark plugs. The only way I get to run poured gas in it, and I couldn't blow through the line, and I got to digging around there, and it was hung in the thing that cocks the blade up and down. There's a hole there. I guess that's the reason I've been having trouble with that. But evidently he had mashed it together and messed it up, and it caught all the weeds. And so, but I went to Napa, and they saved my bacon and my lawnmower too.
Yeah, that's right. They need to keep doing that because there's going to be a shortage of bacon this year. You know that.
Yeah, I heard that.
The bacon short.
There's a bacon shortage, yeah.
Well, I forgot what the basis is. No corn? Yeah, no corn.
No corn.
That makes sense.
They had a shortage of
the
corn,
drought.
and what corn they had, they turned into ethanol.
Well, you know, we talked about that before. It takes more energy to make a gallon of ethanol than you get. That's the feeding, really.
Didn't know that.
Huh?
I didn't know that.
It's a net loss of energy.
It's a net loss. It's how you take all the energy it takes to plant it, to raise it, process it. You know, I have a gas hole for milk from the government. Right. Back in the 70s when they started passing things out, I got one. They tried to get them all in, but I keep sending my $5 registration fee every year. I won't send mine in, you know. They're writing, you won't know how many gallons of ethanol I have to produce. I put 0, you know, they write me back when I want to turn my permit in. I'll say no and send them my $5. So,
We're going to start, now that we've got a market for that kind of stuff, Hank Williams Jr. has activated the market over in Gatlinburg, and we're going to start selling a little ethanol.
Bob, I was thinking maybe that means that you're good at producing gas.
I think so.
What a crowd.
My things I do too.
My mother wouldn't like me calling them this crowd.
I have helped make some that was not back in the past that was not used for motor vehicles.
Rubbing alcohol, isn't it?
Yeah, I can make it if I have to.
Well, that's almost a dying art there. You person needs to know how to do that.
Yeah, popcorn set. Popcorn set, and he learned from you, didn't he?
He travels in good company.
Oh, popcorn. He finally just checked out on his own, didn't he? Well, I'm glad you could come, sir, and enlighten us on the Louis Bluey Festival. What time did you say we should be there on Friday night if we want to go to that?
Yeah, Friday night, I think it's...
Let me tell you, if you've never been to Louis Bluey Festival, come and plan on spending the day. You got plenty of places you can sit down. You don't have to carry your chair around with you. They got all kind of shades you can get in, and chairs to sit in. And just go down there and spend the day. It'll take a day really to see all the exhibits and do everything. It's just a real treat to go down there. I enjoy it.
Well, thank you for saying that, Bob. But we think it is, and we're doing our best to keep it as good as it's ever been, and to make it better every year. And
two things. One, the Friday night show is where and when?
It is right there on the Cove Lake State Park at 7 o'clock. It goes from 7 o'clock to 9:30, and then there's going to be the fireworks at the end of it there.
That's not free to see the show, but on Saturday and Sunday, from when to when, it is free.
It is from 11 in the mornings when the gate opens on Saturday, and then I think we close down a little bit after 7.
Can you do the same thing on Sunday?
No.
No, it's closed on Sunday.
Closed on Sunday.
One day.
Just one day is all we're doing there.
Okay.
But it has been 2 days,
it's always been the Friday, Saturday. We've talked about doing a Sunday. I don't think they've ever done one yet.
I was thinking of the Highland Games. They used to do that in 2 days. But folks, it's a treat to go, and now that the weather is kind of cooperative, you might want to go see this. I've enjoyed it. I've been 2 or 3 times, and like I said, it got so hot I finally stopped going, but I started back.
Well, I tell you, we've tried to set it up where we've got lots of different kinds of music. It's kind of, we got Irish music, we got klezmer, Jewish music, we've got jazz, we've got blues, we've got lots of bluegrass, we've got gospel, we got a little bit of everything.
Tell us something about the finances of this thing. Well, how does that work? Who pays for all this?
It's we got a bunch of sponsors. It's the Campbell Cultural Coalition. They're the ones that do it.
They came here and introduced this first one they had on this show back about 5 years ago.
6 years ago. This will be the 6th one.
Yeah. They Bill Claiborne and that good-looking lady who will remain unnamed, she came up here and they introduced and told us they're going to have this festival down there. They're going to call it the Louis Bluey or something other.
Bill.
We went down there and it's pretty good.
Bill Claiborne helped pick the acts on the stage I'm on that I got there. He's still involved. I'm probably, judging by the ladies I've been working with, I think it's probably one of them still involved too. There's some fine looking and awful nice people planning the thing.
Yeah, we tend to raise some fine people around here, but they mostly leave. These strays come in from North Carolina and just mess up everything. Folks, we're going to check out shortly. I don't know just exactly when they're going to turn us off. I'm going to start shutting down the internet, but
you can't pay attention to that clock on the wall.
No, I know where
sometimes it just goes on and on and on, and so we're going to be checking out there probably in about a minute. So, but we've enjoyed having you folks with us and letting you hear about the Louis Festival that's going to come up. We've enjoyed having you, and we hope you'll